Hello, welcome to our yoga to unwind the mind. We are really going to be getting out of our heads and into our bodies through our postures, through breath work, and through chanting. So all you need for today's class are 2 blocks. If you don't have blocks, hardcover books work just as great. Your yoga mat, and please have some water close by because we're gonna need it because we're gonna be sweating for the first half at least. So let's meet on the mat in child's pose. So for child's pose today, you can decide you want to stretch your low back, have your knees closer together. If you want to stretch your hips, have your knees wider apart. And then just walking yourself forward, forehead comes to the mat. If the mat feels far away, you can always stack your fists and just have your forehead resting on your fists. Oh, I just realized I didn't put music on. Get settled in your child's pose and I'll put on some music so we have some nice flow. Okay, there we go. Okay, so settling into your body and just allowing your breath to deepen. Really focusing on your inhales and your exhales and how they feel in your body today. And then keeping your body as it is, except for now, we're just gonna walk our arms over to the left side. So starting to stretch the right side body. And just breathe into this. And then on your next inhale, walk yourself back through center and now over to the right, stretching into the left side body. And then walking yourself back to center, take 2 breaths in your child's pose. And then slowly come up to a tabletop. Wrists are under your shoulders, knees are under your hips. And before we even get into our cat-cows, I just want us to rock a little bit back and forth. We're just getting into the wrist joints, warming up the wrists. And you can make these movements as big or as small as you need today. Just listen to your body. And now turn your hands so your fingers are facing the long edges of your mat and start rocking side to side, still warming up the wrist joints. And then if it feels okay, you can flip your hands now so your fingertips are facing your knees. This can be a lot, it's a big stretch, so either stay here or maybe rock a little bit forwards and back. Really stretching out your wrists, your hands. And then coming out of it, have your palms again facing the sides of your mat and then back forward. Move slow, that can be a lot. Okay, coming back into our tabletop, we're just going to do a couple cat-cows. So inhale, belly will drop, come to cow, gaze is forward. Exhale, round the spine, come into your cat, chin to chest. Inhale, belly drops, cow. Exhale, spine rounds, cat. more times, following your own breath. Moving as fast or as slow as your body needs today.
Ma Saraswati Brahmi Namastasye Namastasye
The next time you're in your cat, so you have a rounded spine, we're going to be here together. We're going to do some barrel rolls. So you're just bringing your body over to the right, coming through center with your back in cow, and then shifting into a cat. So kind of rolling your spine here. And this might look weird, that's okay. Just focus on how it feels. Again, moving as slow or as fast as you need as we just wake up the body. And once you've gone a few ways in one direction, you can switch and go the other direction. Beautiful. Now we're going to meet in tabletop neutral spine. You're going to lift that right leg and the left arm. Just take a couple breaths here. And on your next exhale, we're going to crunch and we're going to bring our elbow to our knee. Inhale, back out. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, back out. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, back out. Two more. And coming back to that straight line. Bending that right knee and reaching for your right foot with your left hand. You can grab your foot. If not, just use the strength of your core and your legs to pretend. But if you can reach for it, begin to kick your hand into your foot, creating some resistance. And on your next exhale, let that go. Give yourself a little wiggle. We're coming into the other side. So left leg will lift, right arm will lift. Take a couple breaths, just get used to this pose. And then on your next exhale, elbow to knee, come to a crunch. Inhale, back out. Exhale to crunch. Inhale, back out. Exhale to crunch. Two more. Beautiful. Coming back to that straight line. Bending that left knee. Right hand is reaching for that back foot. You can grab hold of that back foot. Do so now. Beautiful. Exhale, let that go. Give it a little wiggle. And we're still in tabletop now. You're going to lift that right leg. Right knee is bent. And we're just going to tap the right knee behind the left knee. Inhale, come back up. Tap it behind. Inhale, come back up. Tap it behind. Two more. Beautiful. Right leg comes down. We'll just do the other side. Lifting the left leg, bending at the knee. And then on your exhale, left knee taps behind right. And if you want, you can look every time your knee taps behind. Just gaze at it. Two more. Beautiful. Let that go. Tuck those toes. On your next exhale, lift the hips coming into your downward dog. Lift bent knees to start. And maybe start pedaling out your dog. So The right heel is on the ground, left heel lifts, and then you just switch. Just warming up the hamstrings, moving slow, letting your body know that you're safe. Coming to stillness, taking a breath. Inhale, look forward, and then walk your feet towards your hands, coming into a forward fold. Feet are hips width apart, and you can have your knees bent here, so your upper body is kind of resting on your thighs. Let your head and neck hang heavy. They don't have to do any work. And if you want, you can grab for opposite elbows, coming into a ragdoll. Maybe just letting yourself kind of shift from side to side. Just releasing the low back here. And of course, getting into the hamstrings a little bit as well. Coming back to stillness. If you were grabbing your opposite elbows, you can release. And then on our inhale, we're going to slowly come up to standing, rolling up vertebra by vertebra, ever so slow. Coming to stand in mountain pose, Tadasana. I'm going to face you. We're just going to do a little Qigong exercise. One of my favorites, so I wanted to include it in today's practice. So you're standing with your feet hips width apart. And Qigong is an energy practice. It's from traditional Chinese medicine. And this practice is we're bringing the energy up from the earth into our bodies, carrying it upwards, and then bringing the energy of the universe down into our bodies. So, super simple. On your inhale, you're gonna bend forward and like you're picking up energy from the earth. Begin to imagine you are just cleansing your body with it. Your hands are about a couple inches away from your body. Extending your arms out. Inhaling them up. And then again, like you're taking that energy from the heavens or from the universe and just bathing it over your body as you come back down. Taking that energy back up from the earth. Stretching it out. Bringing it up. And then bringing that energy from the divine down over your body. And if you can, once you get to the hang of this, close your eyes. And just allow your breath to guide you as you move through this. We're imagining that we're being filled with the grounding energy of the earth, the steady pulse of Mother Earth, and bringing down the wisdom from the heavens above, from the divine, from the universe. Wherever you are now, we're going to meet picking up that energy from the earth. And as you come up, we're going to pause. And our hands are just going to come, a couple inches apart. And I want you to imagine that you are holding a ball of energy between your hands. Maybe you can feel the energy pulsating between the minor chakras in your hands now. Keeping your eyes closed so you can really focus on this connection. Begin to stretch that ball of energy out by bringing your hands further apart and then bringing them back closer together. Just noticing what you notice. Now I want you to start to condense that ball of energy, smaller and smaller, so your hands are just cupping each other. You're holding that little ball of energy in between your palms. And then bringing your hands just below your belly button onto your belly. This is considered the lower dantian in our TCM practice. And this is where our life force energy lives. So we're just allowing all that energy we cultivated from the earth and from above to merge with our own bodies. Beautiful. Let that go and just take a moment standing into Tadasana mountain pose. Noticing if you feel any different. If you don't, good. If you do, good. There's no right or wrong. Beautiful. So I'll come back over here. So we're going to step our right foot back just a few inches. And your right toes are going to face the corner of your mat. We're coming into warrior one. So begin to bend into that left knee. Inhale, arms overhead. Coming into your warrior one. A beautiful pose to increase happiness and joy. And on your next exhale, arms come down to frame that front foot. We're going to step back into plank pose. And I want you to drop your knees. And we're going to come down for a supported chaturanga. So shifting a bit forward, bending at the elbows with control, coming down to the belly on the mat. And then bringing your hands, or your arms, into space. So your forearms are on the mat, elbows are underneath the shoulders. We're engaging our glutes and our legs here to protect our low back. Gaze is down. Just taking a few breaths in this gentle back bend. Beautiful. Exhale, coming down. Hands come under the shoulders. Come up through tabletop. Tuck those toes, coming into your downward dog. Pedal it out. Come to stillness for one breath. And then looking forward, stepping your feet towards your hands, coming into that forward fold once again. You can either do ragdoll again like we did before, or you can loop your index and point your finger around your big toes. Elbows are out to the side. And just allow yourself to come deeper into this forward fold. Beautiful, letting that go. And then on your inhale, slowly coming up to stand. Head comes up last. Take a breath in mountain. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands come to prayer at heart center. Take a breath. Then bringing your hands to your hips, now we're stepping the left foot back about 5 inches. Coming into warrior one on the other side, bending into the right knee now, the front knee. Inhale, arms overhead. And really engaging your legs. Planting your feet as firmly into your mat as you can. Imagining little roots growing out of the soles of your feet, planting you into the earth so you're even more steady in this posture. Beautiful. Exhale, hands come to mat, framing that front foot. Step it back to plank, and you can decide, lower those knees if you need some assistance, or full chaturanga, coming down slowly, flat back, all the way to your belly. Inhale, coming to space once again. Now you're going to bend your left elbow's already bent. You're going to shift your arms. So now your left forearm is parallel with the top of your mat. Bend your right knee and reach back for your right foot with your right hand. This can be a lot, so you can stay here. If you want a bit more, start to bring some resistance So your right thigh and knee begin to lift off the mat. Gaze is down, protect your head and neck. We don't need to do any work here. And then releasing your hold on that right foot. Right leg comes back to the mat. Left arm back to Sphinx. Take a breath. We're going to do the other side. So now right forearm is parallel with the top of your mat. Bending that left knee. Foot faces towards the sky. And then reaching back for your left foot. Staying here exactly as you are, or bringing some resistance in so your left knee and thigh begin to lift off the mat. We're still engaging our glutes to protect our low back. Beautiful. Let that go. Left leg comes down. Take a breath at Sphinx. Exhale, come all the way down. Hands under shoulders, come to tabletop. Take a sip of water if you need. Otherwise, we'll meet in downward dog. Meeting in downward dog. You can pedal it out if you need. On your next inhale, we're gonna lift the right leg up. You don't have to lift it super high, whatever is your edge. And then inhale, looking forward, stepping that right foot in between your hands. Left knee comes down to the mat, coming up into a low lunge. Inhale, arms overhead. If your knees are a little bit sore, you can always roll your mat so you have some more cushion under your knees if you're working with any injuries. Otherwise, take a couple breaths here. Exhaling, hands come to the mat. This is where you might need your blocks, so you might have to grab them. I put mine a little far away. So have your blocks on either side of your mat in case you need them, okay? But we're going to heel toe, that right foot forward, so our right leg is straight now. We're coming into a half split. So if you have books or blocks, this is a good help just to be an extension of your limbs if, the mat feels far away. And you can stay upwards or you can begin to fold forward over that right leg. Now this is a pretty big stretch for the hamstring, so if you need to have a little bend in that right knee, that's okay. You're going to breathe here for 5 more breaths. If you notice that your breath is starting to get shallow, just come up and out a bit. And of course, if you have full split in your practice, this is the time. Beautiful. So we're gonna come up and out so you can move your blocks a little off to the side if you need. Heel toe, that right foot back underneath the knee. Bring your hands to your hips. And begin to let your right knee sink a little bit further so it's kind of over your big toe. Make sure you're still engaging your glutes here to protect your low back. We're coming into a low runner's lunge, getting into the left hip flexor. So you can either stay here with your hands on your hips, you can bring your hands to rest on your right thigh, chest is open, or inhaling the arms up and over, hands come to prayer, and then bending your elbows. And this will help keep your chest open even more. You can gaze up towards the sky. Wherever you are, make sure you are breathing. Beautiful. Exhale, arms come down, hands come to the mat, framing that front foot. Tuck your back toes, step back to plank, coming through chaturanga, all the way to your belly. And then inhale, coming to cobra now. We're gonna do a low cobra here. So you're really engaging your glutes, your thighs, your legs. You don't have to come up really far because we want to test ourselves, challenge ourselves, I should say. And try to have as little weight in your hands as possible. Maybe even lifting the hands off the mat, using the strength of your back. Beautiful. Plant those hands if you lifted them. Head comes down to the mat. Coming back through tabletop, and then exhaling to your downward dog. We're going to take 3 breaths here in our down dog. And on the exhale, I want you to sigh out the mouth and let your tongue go. It's kind of like lion's breath. So you inhale. One more. Beautiful. Inhale, left leg is going to lift this time. Looking forward, stepping that left foot in between your hands. Right knee comes down to the mat. Inhale, coming up into your low lunge. And when we're in our low lunge, we're really engaging our inner thighs to help keep us stable. And planting down through the sole of the left foot, the top of the right foot. Exhale, hands are going to come down to the mat. And again, maybe you need your blocks or your books close by. As you heel toe, that left leg to come to be straight. Again, micro bend in that left knee if you know your hamstrings are really tight. We don't want any injuries. Taking a breath here. And then on your next exhale, maybe walking yourself forward so you can hinge from the hips, bending the upper body, bringing it closer to your left leg. Now this side, it might feel different from the other side, so just honor that. And again, if you took full split on the other side, take it on this side, even it out. Beautiful. Slowly heel toe that left foot back in, coming into low runner's lunge on the other side. Hands come to hips. And just let that left knee track forward a little bit so it's coming closer to being over your big toe. Engaging your glutes, protecting your low back. Keeping your hands as is, bringing them to rest on your thigh. We're inhaling, arms overhead, hands come together to prayer, and bending at the elbows. And gazing up towards the sky if you want. On the inhale, we're imagining that our ribs are coming farther away from our hips. And on the exhale, maybe sinking a little deeper, getting into that right hip flexor. Beautiful. Release that on your exhale. Hands come to the mat. Tuck those back toes, coming into plank. Taking a breath. And then shifting forward, coming down through your chaturanga all the way to the belly. And then coming into cobra. This time you can come up a little higher if you want. You have more weight in the hands. Exhale, coming all the way down. Now, if you have your blocks, move them off, or your books, move them off in front of you so we have some space. I want you to come over to the left side of your mat. Right arm is going to come out to a T, shoulder height. Right side of your head is going to rest on the mat. And you're going to begin to roll yourself over that right shoulder. Go really slow. It's going to be a lot. Your left hand is planted on the mat, supporting you. And if you want, you can bend that left knee, sole of the left foot on the mat, knees pointing up. This makes the stretch a little bit more intense. So just honor what you need, listen to your body. Beautiful. Slowly coming out of this on your exhale. Move so slow. Beautiful. And we'll just switch and do the other side. So come over to the right side of your mat. Left arm comes out to a T, shoulder height. Left ear is on the mat. And then begin to roll yourself over. Right hand is on the mat, supporting you. And again, you can bend the right knee now so the right sole of the foot comes to the mat. Again, this makes the pose a little bit more intense, so just honor where you are. Make sure you can still breathe. Beautiful. On your next exhale, slowly come out of this, rolling back onto your belly. Shift yourself back to the middle of your mat. Come up to tabletop. Take a sip of water. And we'll meet in downward dog. Taking a couple breaths, getting settled in your down dog. Inhale, lift the left leg high to the sky. Open out the hip. And then looking forward, stepping that left foot in between the hands. Your back foot is going to turn out so your toes are facing the long edge of your mat. You're coming up into a warrior two. You can windmill your arms up into a warrior two, bending that left leg. You want to imagine your left knee is kind of coming towards your left pinky toe. You don't want your knee concaving inwards. Just take note of that. Coming steady in your warrior two, looking over those left fingertips. And then inhaling, flipping that left palm, coming up and back into a reverse warrior. Right hand can rest on your right thigh. Coming back through warrior two. Hands come to hips, straighten that left leg. And then have both of your toes facing the long edge of your mat. We're going to come into a wide leg forward fold. So if you need a prop, grab your prop, book, block, and just have it in front of you. So when we fold forward, if the ground feels far away, you have something to rest your hands on. Okay, so taking a breath, tall spine. Exhale, begin to hinge from the hips. We're going to pause halfway in a flat back. And then bring your hands to the ground, to the mat, to your block, to your book. Whatever you're working with. I got hair all over the ground and my hands in here. And just allow yourself to sink into this forward fold. You can have a micro bend in your knees. Protect your hamstrings. If your hands are on the ground or on the mat, you can keep them there. Maybe you want to reach for your ankles. And just kind of bring your body closer to the ground. And then bringing your hands back to your hips, coming up slowly on your next inhale, doing your best to use the strength of your legs to bring you back up. Beautiful. Okay, we're coming into warrior two on the other side. So all you need to do is flip those right toes to face the short edge of your mat. Maybe you need to widen your stance a little bit if you have long legs like me. And then bend into that right knee, coming in to warrior two on the other side. When you feel steady, you can gaze over those right fingertips. Warrior two is a very active pose, so we're still engaging our core, our low belly, really pushing into our feet to ground us. And if you took reverse warrior on the other side, let's do it again. Inhale, flip that right palm, come a little bit forward as you reach up and over, coming into reverse warrior on the other side. Make sure you're still bending into your front knee. Beautiful. On the inhale, come back to warrior two. Take a breath. Straighten that right leg. Toes are going to face the long edge of your mat again. We're coming into a forward fold again. So take a breath. Tall spine. Exhale. We get to fold forward. Pausing halfway with a flat back. And then bringing your hands in front of your face on the mat, on the ground, your block or your book. And I want you to have your left hand right in front of your face. We're going to inhale the right arm up, coming into a twist here in our forward fold. Beautiful. Exhale, release. Right hand comes to the ground. Inhale, left arm lifts up, coming into a twist on the other side. Beautiful. Releasing the left hand back down. Bringing your hands to your hips. Using the strength of your legs to bring you back up. Beautiful. And just turning now to face the left side. Hands come to the mat. We're stepping it back into plank pose. Taking a breath in plank. And coming down. You decide, cobra or maybe upward facing dog. If you're in upward dog, only the tops of your feet are on the mat. On your hands as well, but you know what I mean. And then exhale, wherever you are, coming up into a downward dog, however you need to get there. Taking those lion breaths again. Inhale through the nose. Open the mouth. One more. Beautiful. Bringing your feet together. Inhale, the right leg is going to lift high to the sky. Open out the hip. Bend that right knee. And look under your left armpit, sorry. See if you can see your foot. Say hello. And inhale, looking forward. We're coming into pigeon pose. So your left ankle comes behind your left hand. Right ankle comes behind your left hand. I'm getting my lefts and rights mixed up. And your right knee behind your right hand. If this feels like a lot, pigeon isn't in your practice yet, you can always do figure four on your back. where your right leg is going to cross over your left, and then you can reach for the left shin. They're going to get the same stretch as pigeon. But if pigeon's in your practice, awesome. We'll stay here for a breath. And just as you get settled in pigeon, make sure that you're not dumping too much onto one side, that your weight is even. And you can stay upright or coming down into your sleeping pigeon. Forearms can come to the mat. Maybe you have a block or a book here, so you can rest on that as well. And if you know you can come even deeper, then rest your forehead on the mat, coming in, settling down. We're going to be here in pigeon for 10 breaths, so do your best to breathe with ease. We're slowing down the practice. Really getting into our hips and our low back with this pose. Beautiful. Slowly coming up and out of your sleeping pigeon, taking a breath, tucking those back toes, lifting up, bringing that right leg back up high to the sky, stretch it out, and then step it down back to the mat. Take a breath, and bringing your feet together again, so you can inhale, lift that left leg high, bending at the left knee, looking under your right armpit, maybe you can see your foot, stay focused. And then inhale, coming forward into pigeon on the other side, or figure four on the other side. Allowing yourself to get settled first. Make sure your weight is even. And then you can stay upright or slowly start to come down into your sleeping pigeon. Come to your forearms first. Take a few breaths here before you go all the way down and back to your practice. We're going to stay here for 10 breaths. Make sure you can breathe with ease. Your three-legged downward dog, stretching out that left leg, and then exhale, planting it on the mat. Take a breath in your down dog. walking your hands forward and begin to sink your chest down so your forehead can rest on the mat. You can also have your forehead resting on a block or a book of feet. Or you can come down even further so your chin is on the mat. On your next inhale, slowly walk yourself back up. We're going to come to sit back on our heels. So we're going to do a bit of stretch for our quads now. So you can stay as you are if this is a lot. You can begin to walk your hands behind you. Just keep going. You can bend your elbows. You start to feel a stretch. Top of your thighs, your quads, maybe coming down onto your forearms, elbows are bent, or coming all the way down into a hero pose. Wherever you are, just breathe into that stretch, top of your thighs, from your knees all the way to your toes. If you were all the way down, come back up onto your elbows and your forearms and slowly bring yourself back up. Take a breath. We're going to come to sit on our butts. Grab a sip of water. We're going to come into the butterfly pose. So feet come to touch, your legs are in a diamond shape. Holding on to your feet with your hands. And just begin to flutter your butterfly, flutter your legs. And you can do this as slow or as fast as you want. Just getting into the stretch a little more, some holistic stretching. And then letting that go. Inhale, spine is tall. Exhale, pull forward, coming forward. Letting your head and neck hang heavy. Just resting here in your butterfly. Something in front of you, you can rest yourself on. We're going to begin to fold forward, rolling to your edge, moving slowly. Make sure you're still breathing. Breathing with ease. Beautiful. Wherever you are in your next inhale, slowly walk yourself back up. You can move your prop off to the side. We're going to use it one more time before the end of our practice, so keep it close. Maybe using your hands to bring your legs back together. They might need some help after that. We're just going to windshield wiper the knees from side to side, so soles of the feet are on the mat, feet are wider than hips, and just begin to knock your knees from side to side. Moving slowly, just releasing any tension from your hips from that pose. And next time you're on the right side, we're just going to gently twist towards the right. Left hand is on the outside of the right thigh. On your next inhale, just gently switch, twisting to the other side now. Beautiful. Releasing that, and we're going to meet on our backs. So soles of the feet are on the mat, bending the knees, coming down to your back. Bringing your heels as close to your butt as you can. So your fingertips should be able to tickle the backs of your heels. Palms are on the mat, arms are on the mat. We're going to come up into a supported bridge. So having your prop nearby, block or book, will be great. So we're going to inhale, lift those hips high to the sky. Place your book or your block, whatever height, underneath your hips. So it's kind of resting between your tailbone and your hips. There should be no pain here. Now we're just going to rest here for about 10 breaths in our supported bridge. You can keep your feet on the mat or maybe lift your feet up. This will make the posture a little bit more intense. So just do what feels good for your body. If you lifted your feet up off the mat, maybe you straighten your legs, soles of the feet are towards the sky. If you have straight legs, bend your knees again and slowly bring your feet back down to the mat. Take a breath here. On your next inhale, lift your hips just enough so you can remove your prop. And then slowly come back down, hips come down last. And then we're gonna bring those knees in. And just start rocking a bit from side to side, giving the low back and the sacrum a bit of a massage. Now widen your knees out, so it's like your knees are coming towards your armpits. You can stay here in a half happy baby, or come into your full happy baby, feet pointing towards the sky, grabbing to the outsides of your feet. You can stay still and maybe rock a little bit from side to side. And wherever you are, bringing a soft smile to your face. After all, we are happy babies. Coming to And then coming down into your final Shavasana. Feet are as wide as your mat. Arms are wide enough so your armpits can breathe. Just allow yourself to rest here in your Shavasana, your corpse pose. Absorbing all of the benefits from today's practice. Giving yourself time for stillness. We're going to stay in our corpse pose for another 10 breaths or so. Continue to focus on your breath, your inhales and your exhales. I'm just going to play my sound bowl for a little bit to help you sink deeper into relaxation. Begin to deepen your breath. Start bringing small movements back into the body, wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes, rolling out the wrists, rolling out the ankles. Then bringing your legs together, arms together overhead, taking a big stretch. Inhale, exhale, let that go. And then bringing the soles of your feet to the mat, bending the knees, rolling over onto one side, using your arms as a pillow underneath your head as you take a breath in your fetal position. And then slowly coming up to a seated position. And if you can, do your best to keep your eyes closed. We'll meet in a seated position together. We're going to end with 3 chants of Om Namo Narani, which means I surrender to the will of the divine. So bringing your hands over your heart, take a breath. Om Namo Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. That was so good.